Hi guys, so we're going to talk a little bit here about Chris Watts and just go ahead and kind of get a reading on what we think about this interview. So I'm going to play some and then I'll stop and talk about it and then play some more.
Just reserved. I mean, I just kind of like go with the flow type.
Yeah.
But then, like, Shen usually made all the decisions, it seemed like, so.
I get that. I'm the same. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't think that's right with you, but.
So then.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick. He's kind of describing himself. And the way that I see him, he's almost like a people pleaser. Low self-esteem, people pleaser. I don't know. He comes across to me as a weak individual, very dull, no personality. So I really think that, and this is my opinion, that NK was the mastermind behind this whole plan. Even though saying that about Chris's personality doesn't mean he is guilty. He should absolutely spend the rest of his life in prison. But I think NK should too. She's the one that planned this. She's the one that came up with the idea. So I think he is a weak individual. I think that he is easily manipulated. And I think that's exactly what happened.
And I know it's hard to keep bouncing back and forth, but and one of the reasons we're here is we just keep telling ourselves, Chris just does not fit the mold. Chris does not.
No.
Like it just blows us away what happened, right? And so we will do a little bit of bouncing back and forth, and that's really just to get to know you a little bit better, because we never really got that chance, did we? We were talking
twice.
Yeah.
Met you once.
Yeah.
Probably like three. Well,
Something else I want to say is, like, at the beginning of this, and I don't want to play it through and talk about it, but whenever he comes in the room to talk to them, it almost seems rehearsed. I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you that's the feeling I get. He might not have known they were coming, but he told them, or he talked to them before they started recording, because the way that they introduce themselves when they meet, I don't know, it's just off-putting. It seems like it was like rehearsed what they were going to say when they first met. I could be wrong, but that's just my intake on it.
I remember 3 or 4 times, probably.
So then do you call her Nikki or Nicole?
I would call her Nikki.
Okay.
I know. There's so many Nikki's and Nicoles in this.
Right, there is.
I got confused.
So we'll call her Nikki. So then with Nikki, was it different?
It just seemed like I was more in control, it seemed like, and that never happened. Like, she'd actually, like, asked me, like my opinion on a lot of things, and just, like, what I wanted to do, and just kind of like, okay.
Okay, let's start there. She knew exactly what she needed to do to reel him in, to get her claws on him. She let him think he was in control, let him think his opinion mattered. And he hadn't had this for a while because Shanann was a strong personality, which I can relate to Shanann, because guess what? I'm the same. Doesn't mean Shanann deserved anything she got. He should have left her, but this is how Nikki got him. She saw him exactly how I described him to you. No personality, very, very, very weak, very low self-esteem, and as she started talking to him and getting to know him, she's like, all right, I can control this guy. But this is how she starts, is by letting him think he's in control. His opinions matter.
That was new, wasn't it?
Very new.
Oh, that's fascinating to me. And so did it feel more like an equal partnership, or?
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Okay.
It seemed like it. He's saying that because at the beginning it was, and the relationship was so short anyways, but it seemed like it. That's what he thought at first. After a few weeks of being together, that's when she changed on him. That's when she started becoming crazy and arguing and saying anything she could to make him feel guilty or feel bad for her.
So then, when it was date night, would you guys talk about it? Would you ask to go somewhere, or would she say, I want to go somewhere? Was it 2000.
The first time we went out, it was to a movie over at the Orchard, about 144th over there, and I asked her like, "Hey, you want to go see this movie?" And like, she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we got there, it was sold out, and normally we'd probably just have just wait 2 hours, like just go home, but now she just wanted to walk around and just talk. I'm like, okay.
Oh wow.
So that was different. And
Yeah, she was probably thrilled as punch so that she could get you alone. I really do think she liked him. I think that she was excited that, one, she had an attractive guy that she was going to be able to control.
And, I think she wanted to go to the car museum, Shelby Museum in Boulder. I've never been there. And
That's right up your alley. So mechanic.
I was just like, that was awesome just to walk around cars for like an hour or so. And then, drag race in Vandermeer.
Okay.
I haven't been to a drag race since 2008. And that was in Charlotte.
Okay.
Like they have a 4-lane drag strip over there. That's like the NHRA, the Top Fuel, and fun car stuff. Like me and my dad used to grow up. Go there like all the time. And then.
So see, she's doing things that he enjoys, things he wants to, again, trap him, get him in good with her. If he's showing that, if she's showing him that he can have control on what they're going to do, she's there to please him, he's going to fall for it. Like he has said, no one's ever hit on him, no one's ever showed interest in him, and this is the female that pursued him, and she's listening to him, and she wants to make him happy. She knew exactly what she was doing.
And went camping in Sand Dunes National Park, and I'd never been camping. I always wanted to do it. Thought it was she'd done it like countless times.
Oh really? Okay. She's outdoorsy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she every time like she needed to clear her head, she'd just go by herself, just go somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's a completely new type of person and relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something else you'll notice is when he doesn't lie, conversation flows good. He doesn't use the word like as much. He does use it, but it's not near as much when he's lying. And when he's lying, he stumbles over his words, and he slips a lot whenever he's nervous. I think it's interesting that he hasn't even thought about that. Like, I just said like. I'm trying not to. He just... I think it's because he's not this sociopath everyone thinks he is. He is guilty. He is a monster. He is horrible. But I believe that he had influences that were beyond his control. I really do.
All right. What were you thinking this whole time? Like, in the back of your head?
In the back of my head, I was just telling myself, what are you doing? Like, every time, I open up my phone, I can see pictures, like, of my wife and my kids, and I'm just like, what am I doing? And then, like, every time I was with her, it seemed like I didn't think. It seemed like it was like a blinder that was in my face.
Oh.
Could that be because she was working with black magic and putting spells on him?
And just, like, every time I look back on it, like, like, I have pictures of my wife and kids and myself. And, like, every night, or every morning, every night, I just, talk to them, say, like I have, like, this book I used to read for CC. And I remember that book, so I read that to them, like, every night. And, like, there's some scripture and stuff that I read to them, so I just try to think back, like, I wish this never happened. And just like, I wish that blinder wasn't on my head, wasn't in my eyes. That would have seen what was going on. Like, I was having, like, everybody says, oh, you're just out there having fun while your kids, or kids and wife are on vacation. I'm just like, no, it wasn't like that, but it seemed like that's what it looked like when you're going, you're going to camping, going to drag race, going all this other stuff that you have fun doing, but you're with somebody else. It's not your family. It just didn't seem right.
Is he trying to convince us, or the police officers, or his family, or who, that he wasn't having the time of his life. He absolutely was. He may feel guilty for it now, but he didn't feel guilty for it then, or he wouldn't have been doing it. He would have stopped.
With her, it just didn't seem like I could even see that anymore.
Yeah.
I was there at her house pretty much every night. So it was like I didn't have that time at home just to really think about anything. Because literally I didn't, like I was only at home from like when I got home from work, I worked out, I ate dinner, and then I went over to her house.
Okay, I want to stop there. My question is, he wasn't at home during the month of July. He stayed at Nikki's, from what he's saying here, right? So if we're taking what he's saying for face value, and it's the truth, I don't know if I buy that they stayed at her house. This is it. They had supposedly the camera on the front door. They had the baby monitors in the bedroom, and they had motion detectors in their house, right? And some people say they had cameras in the house. No, they didn't. But like with my husband and my daughter, we have an app called Life 360. I keep it to keep track of my daughter. My husband has it. We both have it. I mean, I'm not following my husband. He's not following me. But it's there for safety. As much as Shanann was a very, very good protective mother, I would have assumed that they would have had something like this on their phone. Even with the motion detectors, people said she had something linked up to her phone. I just don't know how he wasn't at his house for a month, not sleeping at his house for a month, and she didn't know this. I don't know. There's something he says later on that makes me question it, and whenever I get to it, I'll point it out to you guys.
Like I never slept in my house, like the whole month of July.
Now, talk me through that though. When you said you went home and then you were at her house, was that while Shanann was gone? Oh, okay. So you weren't even at your house.
No.
Because I remember, he says I think it was it the 4th of July? Yes, 4th of July he had off, and he stayed the night over at Nikki's house. And Shanann called, and he had to leave Nikki's so that he could get home and talk to Shanann. So Shanann did know where he was. Because why would he need to go home to talk to Shanann? Right? I just don't understand that part.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. Like I didn't, like she even told me like she would never, in like a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over at her house like more than like once or twice a week. But she felt like she wanted me over there.
Yeah.
She said she felt comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's what was different. Like she wanted me over there, but I just wish that all that would just go away. I just wish I almost like I know it's hard. I know it's wrong to say I wish I'd never met somebody, but I wish I'd maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again. Because some people, when this happens, you're like, well, if it wasn't this time, it would have been next time, or it would have been the next time. It just wouldn't have happened with you, would it? And it happened so quickly that you tell me if I'm wrong. You're not the type of guy to take control sometimes when you need to.
Yeah,
it seems like that's just what happened.
Yeah, I didn't take control of the situation. It just like the situation controlled me.
Hear that? He didn't take control of the situation. The situation to control him. So is he speaking of Nicole taking control of the situation? Or is he speaking of something he doesn't understand was controlling him? That's the first indicator to me something's up. What else is he saying there that I wanted to make mention about? Oh, I initially had said, I don't think he watches TV, but I guess they do in prison. I'm sorry, I'm not down with what goes on in prison. And something else is, they talk to people on the phone. So he for sure is getting information about the outside world, what's been said, what's been going on. Some of the stuff he says almost seems like he was told. Right? Or am I the only one that thinks that?
Right, it just happened. No, I get that, man. I'm somewhat passive myself, and it's like, there's situations where I'm like, well, why did I let that keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like a roller coaster ride that I just kept punching the ticket on, and it was never gonna get up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first part. We will be doing more. So anyways, until next time, like, subscribe, share, or don't. See ya.